Hi, this is Country Living Eastern Oregon Style 61, and today I'm going to show you how to make some creams of soup in a jar. First, you have to have your cream soup mixture, and it's all dry, so you end up using water in it to cook it on the stove on a campfire. I'm putting them in a jar. You can put them in a Mylar bag, take them on backpacking trips, and just add hot water, and it will cook on its own. Okay, to start out with, you have to have 2 cups of non-dry instant milk. Now this makes quite a bit, so you can make up any kind of cream soups that you would like. I'm only going to do 4 today, but the only ones that you cannot make is the peas. You can add any vegetable you want, but not pea, because it obviously will turn into a split pea and it won't be a cream soup. So there's 2 cups of dry milk, and then it has a 1.5 cups of, I know it sounds like a lot, 1.5 of cornstarch. Probably should have had all these measured out, but you can see how sloppy I really am when I am cooking or when I'm making something up. Always got a mess. But this is the base, and I think it makes like 7 pints when you mix this up. If you don't use it all, you can store it in a jar until you're ready to make whatever kind of soup that you want. But today I'm going to make cream of broccoli, cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, and cream of celery for you. And it's basically all the same. It's the same amount of cream powder that you put in, and then it's just whatever kind of vegetable that you want. And I need a 1/2 cup, and I don't know whether I would have to go over and get some more bouillon. You can make your own cream or your chicken bouillon, which I have done, but this is just going to be a little bit more convenient than bringing my own out. You can do any kind of bouillon that you would like. All it is a matter of cooking it down and getting it where it's reduced down to where it's really thick, and then you can dry it. All the stuff that I've got here outside of the powdered milk and the celery, I use my bought celery, and the cornstarch and the pepper. Everything else I have either grow myself, all my herbs, or I have dehydrated down. So this is a 1/2 cup of chicken bouillon goes in it. 4 teaspoons, tablespoons of onion powder. This is my own onion powder. As you can see, I've got it written on there. 1. I will put this down in the link down below, the recipes on how much you use of everything and how much of the vegetables or whatever. And I've got some dry basil here somewhere. That's thyme. Where's my basil? That was my thyme. Is that my basil? No, that's not. Oh, there it is. There's the basil. And this is my own basil. So I kind of have to crush it a little bit. And I need 2 teaspoons full. So I just kind of hold it over the top, crush it. If you want to, you can crush it ahead of time. I don't, because like I say, I'm not doing it for on a mass production. I usually don't make the meals in a jar unless I'm using them as a gift, because I have everything accessible to me, and I just, when I start making the same things, what I'm going to show you how to make, I just pull all my stuff and do it right on top of the stove in a saucepan. We'll give that a little bit of a crash. It's trying to jump away from me. Okay, there was the basil, and that was 2 teaspoons. And now I got 2 teaspoons of thyme here again. This is my own thyme that I raise. And it's a little finer than the basil. Now this is, like I say, just your base. This will go into every soup. If you choose that you do not want to use thyme, you don't like thyme, you can use sage, but you don't want to use both. And a teaspoon of pepper. If I can get it open. Come on. There we go. I know it sounds like a lot, but remember, it'll make at least 7 jars. Okay. We got the pepper, we got the thyme, we got the basil, the onion powder, the bouillon, the cornstarch, and the milk. That is your base. And this is what it looks like. And it's just kind of a big mess. And I use a wire whip to mix it with. You just make sure it's all mixed together. Let's move this out of the way so we can. But you just want a consistency of kind of like if you were mixing something up to coat it, to fry it or something to that effect. Kind of like a coating. And I just kind of break up my herbs if they're a little bit big with my wire whip, but I just kind of mash them. But this is what it looks like. Okay, now to make the jars, here we go, we're ready to start. We need 2/3 cup of this mixture. Let's see if I better take that out of there. I'll have it dumped. 2/3 cup of your dry powdered mix into a jar. Now, that's all you need in a pint jar. This will make equivalent to 4 cups of soup, okay? If you want to double it, you could put it in a quart jar, but you can make it this way. Let's do mushrooms. So what we do, these are my own dried mushrooms that I dried myself. And what you do, there is no amount that you put in there. All you do is fill up the jar. And if you have to crush them down a little bit, that's fine. But you want the jar full. So you just keep kind of pushing down on them, even though they break up, they crunch up a little bit. That's okay. Most of the time when you buy a soup from the store, it has little tiny pieces. Now you can go back and crush all these up, but I think it looks prettier with it as whole. Because by the time they get soft, you can break them up if you want to. You just keep packing it until that jar is full. Now you can go back. If you're going to do it for long-term storage, you can do it. Use the vacuum sealer on them. If you have a jar vacuum sealer, which I do, but I won't today. I won't drag that out to do. But you can throw an oxygen absorber in there if you want. But there is your cream of mushroom soup, and that makes 4 cups of soup. Okay, it's the same thing on each one of these. Whatever you make, it's 2/3 cup of your powdered mix to whatever vegetable. Oops, I don't need that. This is chicken that I did on my own. You cook it off, you cook your chicken off, make sure all the fat is off of it. I use skinless, boneless, and then I cut it in pieces, put it in a wire strainer, ran hot water over the top of it till I had absolutely no fat. Once that was done, I put it into my dehydrator and dehydrated it. And you can use that, you turn it on and you leave it for about 8 to 12 hours. It depends on your dryer, at the highest temperature that it will go. Mine happens to be 155. A little bit more. But you just keep poking it down in there until you can't get any more in. And there's your cream of chicken. Now how much was it? 2/3 of a cup. All cream soups are that way unless you're making a bigger batch. If you want to make it into a quart size, then of course you'll double it. And what do we have used yet? We haven't used the celery or the broccoli. Okay, here's the broccoli. Now these are a little bigger. There again, this is fresh broccoli that I have blanched and then turned around and dried. And you just kind of poke them down in there. These you'll have to break up, otherwise you won't have very much in there. You have to kind of break them up when you poke them down in there, because they're kind of big. So like I say, you can put this in a Mylar bag, take it on a hiking trip, take it camping, use it for emergency type situation, where all you got to do is heat some water and pour it on top into the Mylar bag. Seal it up again, put a couple of clothespins on it, or paper clips, or whatever that you have that will keep it closed. Let it sit there, let it seep, and it will be done, because everything is cooked in it. All you're doing is reconstituting your vegetables is all you're doing. Put a little bit more in that one. Well, come on, get on there. You can layer them if you want to. I put all the stuff at the bottom. But you can put a little bit of your powdered stuff, a little bit of vegetable, a little bit of powder. You can do it however you want. Or you can put your vegetable in first. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Chasing my powder away rather than that bowl. I can't get it in there. Okay, this is the last one we'll do of the series. And I am going to use my store-bought celery. I'd had to go over to where I store my stuff to get the celery, because apparently I don't have it here at the house, which is a shame. So this is actually a little bit smaller than what I would do as far as the celery goes. Mine's a little bit bigger chunks. But any of that type of stuff, if you don't have a way to dehydrate it, you can, there's ways to do dry stuff. If you do it in the oven, yes, you can. But it's more baking it than it is drying it. It doesn't matter whether you leave the door open. A lot of people argue about that. But, to each their own. I will not put them in the oven to dry. So, there's your 4 meals. I don't know whether you can see those. There's your 4 meals. Doesn't make a lot, it makes 4 cups. You have a nice day. Thank you for watching. To these meals in a jar, which is your cream soups, you add 2 cups of, or 2 pints, excuse me, of water per contents of each jar into a saucepan or in your Mylar bag to cook it in. I almost forgot to tell you that, but that's what you use. So you could put that in a probably a gallon size, maybe, if you're wanting to make a gallon, or a quart size in a gallon Mylar bag to be able to do a full quart if there was more than a couple of you. But this will, like I say, will give you 4 cups of each, of each kind. Will give you 4 cups. But you put 2 pints of water in, no matter which one you make. Okay, thank you for watching.